So my message this week is actually for a very specific group of people. It's for the CEOs of the FTSE 100 index companies. And my message to you is this: go on holiday. Right, we talk quite a lot about that date, which I think is in October, where men could technically kind of stop working and still have made as much as women do throughout the year because of the gender pay gap. Do you know that the CEOs of the FTSE 100 companies could stop working at 2 p.m. on January the 5th this year? They could have already stopped working and made the same amount as the median UK worker. Right, and it's actually 9 hours earlier than it was last year because over the last year, the average income of a FTSE 100 CEO went up 39%. You know, while everyone else's wages were stagnating and inflation was flying through the roof and nobody could afford their energy and everybody was worried about how they were going to get through the winter and whether they were going to have enough money, whether their savings were being eroded and all of these kind of things. In the meantime, while we talk about how we can't possibly afford 10% for firefighters or for rail workers, we're talking about FTSE 100 CEOs getting a rise of 39% in 1 year. Like, it feels like across our society, we have this sense of like, oh, we're absolutely broke, we can't possibly give an extra penny to any of those at the bottom. And any time that we talk about giving money to those at the bottom, we're telling those in the middle strata of our society, well, you know, if the nurses get more, it's going to come out of your pockets, you're going to pay more tax. There is a finite amount of money, there is a finite amount of resources. And the problem is not that we're not sharing them equitably between people in the middle of our society and people at the bottom. And the problem is not that people at the bottom or indeed in the middle are being too greedy. The problem is that people at the top are just accumulating it in piles and piles and piles. I'll give you some other numbers. For the FTSE 350 CEOs and executives, they could stop working on January the 11th and earn the same as the average UK full-time worker. And partners at Magic Circle law firms, they could stop working on January the 9th and earn the same as a median UK full-time worker. Partners at the big four accountancy firms, they could stop working on the 16th of January. Top bankers at the 5 top FTSE banks, they could stop working on the 17th of January and earn the same as a median UK full-time worker. And for those FTSE 100 CEOs, their average income is 3.41 million a year. And I'm sorry, but if you earn that money, stop working now, because you will just never live long enough to enjoy it. You can just go on holiday now and you can stay on holiday. You know what happens when ordinary people win the lottery? They don't go, I'll try and do an MBA and see if I can get some work holding dull Zoom meetings and making people unhappy and being greedy and trying to accumulate what I've got. They go on ruddy holiday because that's what's good about being a human being. Take your 3.41 million, give some of it to charity, give some of it to food banks. You know what? Treat yourself. Buy a freaking new wing or ward for a hospital and have them put your name above the door so that you feel special and you know what a great and wonderful person you are. And then take the rest of it and take your family and go somewhere nice. Or your mistress, I don't care. Because that in itself puts that money back into the economy, doesn't it? Back into the global system where it's being spent and travel agents are making some money and Uber drivers are making some money and all the other people who are part of your, holiday rental and all these things. All of those people are making money when you spend it. Whereas when you just leave it piling up in the bank with all the other money, not paying tax, not doing very much, just sat there accumulating and accumulating and accumulating, that is what holds the whole of the rest of our society back. So yeah, it might seem like the least radical and the least political message that I could possibly say, but if you've just made 3.4 million, stop working and go on holiday. You'll like it. And of course, if you have got 3.41 million, could you please also sponsor these videos, because it's not easy to keep making content like this in an economic climate like this. And we really appreciate the ongoing support of all our sponsors, and you get super bonus, cool, fun stuff and your name at the end, just like you would over a hospital ward. So thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you next week.